All right, y'all, welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to continue working through the app. In the last video we did the first two granular applications. My app is set to the hybrid program, which is granular fertilizers and pre-emergence, and then liquid biostimulants. And biostimulants are for the soil. This is Humic12, 12% humic acid. This is RGS, root growth stimulant, has humic, fulvic, and also sea kelp. Now a lot of people will ask me, can I mix these together? Well, let me just give you one caveat first. If you're looking at your app and it's telling you it's time and your lawn is still dormant, then Humic12 is great. This is great for the soil. This is a great way to start the season off. Just a nice deep coating of the Humic12. You want to wait until you're actually mowing for the RGS because the sea kelp is going to push a lot of roots, and so we want to wait till the lawn is naturally growing before we put that down. Me here in Southwest Florida, I'm in the Bradenton area. I'm growing, I don't go dormant, so I can apply them both, and that's when people ask, can you mix them together? And the answer is yes, you can. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do an app of these two biostimulants put together, and then we're also going to test some hoses because I've been kind of curious about different hoses since we spray so much, and I like to use one of these. So the first thing I'm going to do, though, this is a hose and sprayer I've used many times, is I'm going to go ahead and clean it all out. I cleaned it out last season, but it's been sitting now. So I'm going to clean it out and show you how I do that and kind of talk a little bit about how it works. So let's do that first. All right, so what I've done is I've taken that off, take the straw off, and just put the hose and sprayer top on there. And as far as the hoses go, these are both ZeroG hoses that I'm testing. This is a 3/4 75 foot. This is a 5/8, kind of the standard 50 foot. In the past, what I found is my spigots, some of them have these backflow preventers on there, and the backflow preventer actually cuts the pressure to a point where some of these funky fresh hoses won't actually deliver enough, I don't know, pressure to push the stuff out. But we're going to test that, and that goes back to actually how these work. So we're going to clean this in a minute, but if you know how it works, it's actually going to help you understand if you have to troubleshoot it. So these work on what's called a Venturi, and that's actually how old school carburetors work as well. And basically we'll put a picture of a Venturi on the screen. So water comes in here, and then there's a narrowing point in the middle here. And what that narrowing does when you have this pressure coming through is it makes a low pressure area in there. Is it a vacuum maybe? Either way, it's low pressure in there to the point where the outside air pressure is greater than the pressure in that middle point right there. So when you have that straw on there, and then you have liquids in this tank, the pressure in this tank is greater than the pressure in the middle there. So it actually pushes the fluid up through there. It doesn't suck it. It's not suck to blow, it's push. It pushes the fluid up through there, and then it's mixed in the water and blown out the other end. So that's how a Venturi works. It's something really interesting to study. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to go clean this because I just want to make sure that everything is all ready to flow. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. There we go. So now the Venturi is operating. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's sucking. Watch. See that? It's not really sucking. It's actually the outside air pressure pushing, but it sounds like it's sucking.
She's gone from suck to blow.
But you guys know, suck, blow, it doesn't matter. It all accomplishes the same thing. But that's just cleaning it out. So you want to just run that through there. If you had a little bit of dish soap, you could run that through there as well. But that's just how we make sure that it's flowing. All right, so I can see it's flowing good. Now I know I'm all clean and we're ready to spray and pray. All right, I sat down on my rear end to make it a little more comfortable here, but just want to let you know, these products, they're not made to just go straight in like that because we're going to use minimum rates with these. And the rate that I want you to follow is 3 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a spot right there. We'll show you from last week. This spot here to my right, this is a 1,000 square foot area. It's the same area we started with last week when we did the cranking and the spreading. So 1,000 square feet. And our rate on both of these products is 3 ounces per 1,000 square feet. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the Humic12 and shake it up real good. And get some little measuring cups. You can get these on Amazon. These are like high quality. I'll link them below. They have all different sizes. And you're gonna put 3 ounces in because remember, I'm just doing a 1,000 square foot section. And my rate is 3 ounces of this product sprayed evenly across each 1,000 square foot area. Set it down here. Sitting Indian style is kind of nice. All right, there we go. So we got, and actually, if you're 50 years old and you can still sit Indian style, I'd say that's an accomplishment. So, all right, there we go. 3 ounces. We're going to put that right into our, oh, actually, you know what I want to do first? I want to put a little bit of water in here first. Always a good idea to do that. Just put a little bit of water in here first. It just keeps things from clumping up. These two products can mix together real well and they won't clump, but there are some that can do that a little bit. So just having a little bit of water in there first is a good idea. All right. So here we go. We're going to put in that 3 ounces there. Oh man, did I just spill it over the side? Oh, pretty good. All right. That's why I have gloves back here, y'all. Not because these are dangerous. None of these will hurt you. They can get all over you. I mean, but they stain your skin. That's why I usually wear gloves, but not today. All right, so here we go. But again, not dangerous. You guys know I'm big on PPE. These don't require any of that unless you just, I don't mind having brown stained hands. It makes me look like I actually do work. Okay, so same thing here, 3 ounces per 1,000 RGS. This has a little bit more humic, also fulvic and sea kelp. And again, only apply this if you're mowing already. And you're gonna see this RGS in the app, it comes every month. This is like the backbone or the staple of the program. And if you're only gonna buy one, because I know sometimes you guys look, you're like, man, all these biostimulants coming through, there's 4 different ones. It can be a lot, and if it is, then only do RGS once a month and just dismiss all the others. Again, I'm trying to keep it simple for you so you don't get too confused with stuff. So, all right, I probably just confused you more, but that's, those of you that work with me for a long time, you know how that's how I roll. So, all right, here we go, 3 ounces of this one, because again, the rate is 3 ounces per 1,000. All right, so both of those are now in there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and fill up, get up here without spilling. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the tank here the rest of the way with water. There we go. Put that down in there. Screw it on without breaking your knuckles. Give it a little shaky shake, and now we're good to go. We're ready to spray and pray. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is you wanna pull your hose out, and hose management, I talk about it all the time. Unkink it, tie out, get rid of any knots that are in it. I have no idea how knots end up in hoses, but they do. But you can see I kind of have it laid out around the edges. Now this is a small area, so this hose management is going to be pretty easy here. We're going to do a much larger area in a second. But just lay your hose out, and then you're going to start at the area that's furthest away, the spot that's furthest away from your water source, and you're going to work back towards it. So with that, I'm going to start over in that corner. The first thing I'm going to do is just test this for y'all so you can see that it's mixing. There we go. And you'll be able to see that you get, the water goes from more watercolor watercolor to brown. So that's how you know that it's mixing and spraying. All right, we're good to go. Let's do this. So this is only 1,000 square foot area. So I've got quite a bit of time. And what I'm doing is I'm watching my spray. I can see it's brown, right? So I know it's spraying. So I'm just gonna come up to the end here, right here to the edge, turn it off, and then I'm just gonna look at where I'm at. So right, makes kind of sense, right? So I'm just kind of watching this go down, and then I'm watching my area that I have to spray. And I'm just making sure that I'm covering evenly. So now that I know it took to do that edge, got rid of that much, now I can kind of set my walk pace for the rest and I'm good to go. And again, I'm gonna watch my hose, pull it out of the way, and I'm gonna go right back down to where I just was. Here we go. So I'm going right back up this same side, and I'm just kind of kissing the area that I just sprayed. I'm not really overlapping. Now, this stuff doesn't necessarily change the color of the lawn in any kind of a major way. It won't burn. I mean, you could sit there and hold it like that and it's not gonna burn anything, so I don't want you to worry about that. But you wanna get it out evenly just because that's the goal. But if you don't, it's okay. It's not gonna be the end of the world. It's not gonna hurt anything. You kind of like painting. That's what you're doing. So if you wear polarized sunglasses, that can also help you to see. But again, if you don't get it even, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt anything, not the end of the world. So there we go. So now we did a pass up and back. Take a look. Not quite halfway, almost though. So I need to speed it up just a little bit. Once again, hose management. There we go. All right, so I'm halfway done with my area, and you're not gonna be able to tell because there's the fill line. Pretty close to halfway. Either way, it's close enough that I'm doing well. I'm halfway done spraying and my spray is halfway through, so good to go. Let's do the rest. There we go, we're done. We got a tiny little bit in the corner, so not too bad. Again, close enough. And it got a little bit difficult to spray this area in here. I will say that hose, throwing it out of the way, is a lot easier than a traditional hose. So it's one of the advantages to these ZeroG is that you can throw them out of the way. Because hose management is really going to be your biggest frustration with this. The spraying and stuff is kind of fun and relaxing, but getting the hose out of the way, especially when it's this pretty color, you don't want to spray it all brown. But anyway, all right, let's do the next section. It's a lot bigger. All right, so now what we're going to do is an area that's twice that size. This is the second area we did in the last one. It's 2,000 square feet. Now I just want to say, for a hose end sprayer, the maximum square footage you should spray on one tank full is about 2,000. You can stretch it to 2,500, but 2,000 is good. So that's really the biggest area that you want to do with one of these tanks. If you need to do bigger areas, that's when you want to move up to a backpack sprayer and do it that way, which we'll do some content on that. So I'm going to take this out, and I am going to give it just a quick little cleaning, just to make sure everything will still flow well. So I'm going to put a little bit of water here in my cup. Oh, that's nice. Put that in the lawn. So we're going to get a little bit of fresh water in here. I'm just going to do the same thing I did over there. I'm just going to turn it on and then just pour some water through it. Okay. All right, good to go there. Put the straw back on, set that aside. Now, remember, it's 3 ounces per 1,000 square feet for each of these products, and we have 2,000 square feet now, so we're gonna put 6 ounces of each of these in. Once again, let's put a little water in the tank first. I probably should do this on a tabletop or something, but okay, so a little bit of water, and you see it's brown because there's residual in there. But here we go, shake well. Shake well. Humic12, 6 ounces. Where are we at here? Splashy splash. Probably pour off the sides easier. There we go. All right. 6 ounces in. Good to go. 6 ounces right there. Yeah, pouring off the side for some reason is easier with these. Okay. Okay, there we go. Fill this up with water now. Okay, now this goes across 2,000 square feet. All right, so I've got my tank all full. I'm just visualizing my area to spray. And again, I'm farthest away. This is the farthest corner away from the water source, which is back there. And I'm gonna spray down this way, and I'm gonna work my way kind of back towards the water source, pushing my hose back as I go. Now, I got the brown coming out. Now I'm gonna have to move a little bit faster because I have to cover 2,000 square feet this time, not just 1,000, but 2,000. So I have to keep that in mind, right? I got practice, I got experience doing the 1,000, and I knew how fast it was coming out there. So you can see I'm going quite a bit faster here to make sure that I get this tank out evenly over the area. I'm not even gonna pause. I'm just gonna go right back down the line. Call this a double fast walk, what I call putting some ass into it. That's kind of the walk speed here. All right, I got 2 passes done. I'm gonna stop and take a look at where I am. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I'm about 1/4 of the way done, and I'm 1/4 of the way done with my area here. So that walk speed, that was just about right. Let's keep going. Now again, some of you are, oh, hose management. Hold on, I'm ready to start talking again. Always be mindful of the hose. Now some of you might find that you don't like this. You don't like doing this. You don't like walking this fast. Again, that's when you go to a backpack sprayer. Whole different experience. I enjoy backpack spraying too, but there's an investment of equipment there, and it's not quite as simple to get started. So just something to think about. Get this edge right here, and here we go. Still going, here we go. Heading back, I'm gonna stop it here. Push my hose out of the way. So right now, big vote for the ZeroG. I've been doing this a long time. A vinyl hose, trying to flip it like that, doesn't work as easily with my short alligator arms. So for sure, I do like this ZeroG as far as hose management and just getting it out of the way. And it doesn't kink, so definitely performs as sold. Oh, I said that, and there we go. We got a kink somewhere. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so right here. And you know, it got bound up with the light there, so. But again, that's gonna happen. And this is one of the frustrations, but you can see much fewer kinks. Put up some clips from the one we did over there last year. Remember that video, Guaranteed to Kink? Yes, we have a kink. I'm gonna release a hose, and it's gonna be called Guaranteed to Kink. Oh, look at that, Guaranteed to Kink. That was an old school vinyl hose, so far much better. Let's get this done. So I've got about 1/3 of this left, and that's pretty good looking at the area I've got to do. I got to do this bump out right here and a little bit over there, so things are looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this around so I can get this little bump out here. Okay, now we're gonna move back over here, finish up right down through here. Uh-oh, I'm caught on something. Yeah, see right here, this is something I haven't had to deal with. I got my new landscape lights in, and so new obstacle I'm not used to. I got a lot of hairy bittercrest in here too. You guys might be seeing a lot of this. Hairy bittercrest was also my nickname in college, but all right. Obstacle out of the way. Let's do this last pass here. Now I got a tiny little bit left, and I'm gonna put that right down through here. When I do those bump outs and all that in here, I know that I never get a good application in there because I'm moving around, so I'm just gonna give one final little sweep right down through here and we'll be good to go. Okay, good to go. All right, one quick test I wanna do. So this ZeroG 3/4 inch hose sprayed flawlessly. Plenty of pressure, easy to move. You saw, I said a lot of nice things about it. So that was a really good experience. But in the past, when I've used, again, these types of hoses, non-traditional, hoses that don't kink, when I use them on this particular spigot that has this backflow preventer, see my other one on the other side doesn't have a backflow preventer, and this thin hose, this thinner ZeroG, the 5/8 works great. I want to see if it works with the backflow preventer on there because this does restrict some flow. At least it seems like it does, because in the past, funky, fresh, cool, new technology hoses would not work here. They restricted so much pressure that the hose and sprayer wouldn't work. So what we're going to do is I just want to try the thinner 5/8 inch ZeroG, and we're just going to spray a little something over on the plugs over there, and we'll give you an update on those, but that'll let me know if this thinner hose will work just as good as the thicker one. All right, so I'm just going to spray the plugs here, and I just want to see if this, yeah, so it's working. Okay, the reason I was concerned this may not work is because the thinner hose, I was afraid it would restrict the pressure, but it doesn't. So that's really good news. I had a hose before that it looked like something out of a restaurant sink, and it wouldn't push with that restrictor on there, because I'm hooked up, currently I'm hooked up around the corner where we've been hooked up, and that's got the backflow preventer on it. And like I said, with the last hose I had that looked like it was a piece of a restaurant equipment, it wouldn't spray over there. Something was restricted, I don't know. Anyway, good to know. So I'm just gonna hose this a little heavier in here, and then I'm gonna do the rest of the lawn with my Bio-Stimulants. And as far as the plugs go, I mean, you're not gonna be probably able to tell we have really bad lighting here right now, but they are starting to grow together. We're getting more stolon growth. We've had up and down weather, cold, then hot, but really it's the length of days. Sunset now is after 6 p.m., whereas the last video we did, sunset was setting just barely after 5, maybe 5:15-ish. So it's really day length that matters. Everybody talks about heat and sunlight, and that's important, but it's day length that is the main thing that you need. Longer days are going to encourage this St. Augustine to run. So, and then of course the sea kelp that's in that RGS is helping, and then I always like humic for the soil. So, well, that's a lot. So you can see, I'm not gonna burn anything. I'm putting this whole thing. That was a 6-ounce pour of each humic and RGS, and you can see I'm just hosing it right on these plugs. No fear of burn or anything. So, all right, I hope this video has been helpful to you guys. Hopefully you enjoy spraying and praying, get those biostimulants down to help your lawn. And I appreciate everything you do, and I'll see you in the lawn.